Hello YouTube, welcome to Tapping Ireland. Today I just want to talk about the tapping process and how it works. Okay, let's just take an example of somebody who has a traumatic experience in the past. Let's say you were involved in a car crash and for years later you find it difficult to go out in traffic, or if you're at a set of traffic lights, or you don't like the motorway, or you don't like certain types of cars because of the car that crashed into you or whatever. That's post-traumatic stress. What happens, psychology understands it as a process known as association. So a good example, just for this, to illustrate this point, I give an example of the blue car crash. So the story goes that there's a lady parked in her car at a set of traffic lights, and from her right hand side she hears a loud explosion as a tyre blows out. She looks, she sees a car coming straight across the road and skidding and crashing into her car, and the driver has a beard, let's say. Okay, so there are many different parts of that memory, that event, that are with the person. So let's say that event creates a bubble of energy, a bubble of a memory. Let's say the memory is a bubble in your subconscious mind. Okay, so what is post-traumatic stress? Post-traumatic stress is when she goes out driving again, and if she sees a blue car, she'll get these feelings, negative feelings. She may know why. She may know it's the same colour as the car that crashed into me. She may not. She may hear a loud bang and get these anxious, fearful feelings. She may hear the skidding of tyres. She may get these feelings. She may maybe have an aversion to men with beards because the driver of the car had a beard who crashed into her. She hates the loud noises like a crash sound. Okay, so that's all indicating post-traumatic stress. So all the stress she has to all those different things that occur in her everyday life or can occur, such as seeing a blue car, hearing a loud noise or a blowout tyre, or screeching of brakes, skidding of tyres, the crunching of metal, the guy with a beard, or maybe even the colour of the dress she was wearing on the day, or the jumper or whatever. That's all part of the bubble of memory in the subconscious mind. Okay, so post-traumatic stress, what post-traumatic stress is whenever she sees something that triggers, by association, as it's known in psychology, triggers, she sees a blue car, her computer instantly recognizes the blue car, and within a split second, she has the feelings associated with blue cars. She hears a loud noise. She has the feelings stored in her subconscious from the last time she experienced loud noises. Those feelings come forward. So what it is post-traumatic stress. When you see something in the present moment, it triggers the feelings and the emotions that were created the last time that element was present. Whether it's a blue car, whether it's a set of traffic lights, whatever it is. Okay, so that's post-traumatic stress. Just as if a gun goes off, or a Vietnam vet, let's say, is in a restaurant and someone slams a door, he is looking for the exits, and he's under the table and he's looking for his gun, and he's trying to figure out where the bad guys are, and all of that happens in an absolute fraction of a second. So he's got post-traumatic stress from the war. So there's certain things that trigger him to react in a certain way and behave a certain way. So we're all, in a sense, triggered to react in certain ways to certain people and events based on our experiences, our conditioning, our life to date. So it's a very interesting question if you want to run with it. This is not the talk of this video, but who are we if we're not our experiences? And the answer is we are consciousness, but the understanding that we react to our life circumstances and situations differently than another person because of our conditioning and our experiences. But just let's get back to the post-traumatic stress. So that's the traditional view is your current experience triggers what's in your subconscious, and then these feelings come forward. The stress comes forward. The stress that was created is within you, or you have access to it, and when something triggers that's association. And in a post-traumatic stress way, the stress comes back again. So what we do with tapping that makes it so successful is we get the person to go through the memory. There's a few different ways, but one of the most popular ways is to tell the story. So we get the person to tell the story of what happened during the car crash. So it isn't a case of facing your fear and getting through it really, forcefully and with a lot of will. It's a very gentle process. And as soon as anybody starts feeling stressed or anxious, you get them to tap on the acupressure points. When they go through the system, the tapping points, take a deep breath. Sometimes I usually use the top of the head as well. If they do that 2 or 3 times, they calm right down. And then they're in a position where they can go, okay, I can gradually, slowly work my way into looking at this memory, which for a lot of people is suppressed. So when they start telling the story of what happened, they'll be, I describe a heart monitor, like a little beep line that you see in a hospital, where you basically have a beep, a little spike, every time the heartbeat is detected. So when the person starts telling the story, they might say something like, I was stopped in my car and everything was fine and I was relaxed, and all of a sudden I hear a loud noise. And as the person says that, you can see the change in them. They start to feel anxious. You get them to tap. Keep doing the tapping routine over and over again. It might only take 2 or 3 times, to the point where you get them to start the story again, and they go, okay, I'm at a set of traffic lights, I hear a loud noise, and that was an emotional spike. Okay, right there was a reaction within the person. When she tells the story the second time, she goes, well, I'm at the set of lights, I hear a loud noise. I say, how do you feel? Oh, I don't feel anything at the moment. Fine. So what we do is we continue on. So I'm at the start again. I was at the set of lights. I hear a loud noise. There was a spike there. It's not there anymore. Then I notice this car coming towards me. Beep. That's like a spike, an emotional spike. You can see it in the person. The car's coming towards me. Okay. So we do tapping for, even though the car is coming towards me, I deeply and completely accept myself. You do this tapping routine. Do that 3 times, and you say, this car is coming towards me, this car is coming towards me, this car is coming towards me, all the way through the tapping points. Deep breath, see how they feel, think about the car coming towards them, still a little bit, even though I still have some of these feelings for the car coming towards me. Go through the routine like in the other videos, and after 1 minute or 10 minutes they go, oh well, okay, I feel okay about that. So you bring them back to the start of the story again. Okay, so I'm sitting at a set of lights. I hear a loud noise. There's no emotional spike. There's a car coming towards me. How do you feel? No emotional spike. Okay. Then I hear the screeching of the brakes. Squeak, beep. And the heart monitor beeps again. Or the emotional spike comes up again. So, even though I hear the screeching of the brakes, I deeply and completely accept myself. 3 times. The screeching of the brakes. These feelings to do with the screeching of the brakes. Go through the tapping routine 2 or 3 times, maybe once, maybe 5 times, to the point where they are capable of telling the story. Now the story from start to finish was like this. Okay, it might have 10 spikes in it, 10 emotional blips, spikes. Okay, every time there's something in the memory that was triggering the emotion, there's a spike. After you do the tapping for each one of those spikes is called an aspect. That's important that you understand the aspects when you're working on issues like this. Each spike is an aspect. The loud noise is a spike. The blue colour of the car, even sitting at a set of lights, is a spike for this person. The screeching of the brakes, the crush, the impact of the car, and the fact that the man had a beard, or it was a woman with red hair or whatever, blonde hair or whatever, it doesn't really matter. They're all little spikes because they're all little like energy markers in the memory. After you do the tapping for a period of time, which can take 10 minutes to an hour to maybe 5 hours, depending on the person, they can tell that story from start to finish, and there's absolutely no emotional spike. Okay, so what happens now? In fact, when you do work, when you bring someone through this, even afterwards, they're kind of, oh, why was I so bothered? Because it just falls away. So what happens the next time they they see a blue car, they hear a loud noise, they see a man with a beard, they're stopped at a set of traffic lights. All these times going forward in the post-traumatic association type way will still trigger to the memory as it did before. But in the memory in the past, there was all this emotional disturbance. There was all these emotional spikes. But we've taken all those emotional spikes in association and connected with the memory, taken all those emotional spikes down throughout the memory. So the next time that the memory is triggered and the emotions come forward from the memory, there is no emotional spikes anymore. It's just blank. It's called emotional freedom technique. And that's exactly what it is. You gain emotional freedom. You can look at it whatever way you want. There are many different ways of trying to explain this to people. But you're removing the emotional intensity from a memory in your subconscious mind. With tapping, you bring it up to the conscious mind, you work on it, you change. It's like taking a file, opening a file on your computer, rewording it, recoding it, whatever, and then that's it, it's fine, it's put back. Next time you want to look at it, it's different. Okay, so you're changing your subconscious mind, removing the emotional intensity from the memory, so the next time it's triggered, there is no emotional intensity. I've seen this happen many times. I've witnessed other people doing it for themselves. So that's how I just wanted to explain today how association post-traumatic stress, how it works, and how when you remove the emotional intensity of the memory within the memory by bringing it to your conscious mind, by actually just working on it, like we described with the tapping, you remove all the emotional residue in that memory, and the next time it's triggered, there's nothing. There's just peace or neutrality. Okay, so thank you very much. If you like this video, please subscribe, like, and tell your friends. Tapping is a fantastic tool for anybody to have. If you want to address if you wish to attain emotional freedom. So, thank you.